Hello there, I'm Natasha Koo, the founder of Feminine Space, and welcome to day 21 of this beautiful journey as we redefine womanhood. And today we're going to be talking all about why keeping your heart open is the most important thing when things get rough, different, difficult. That's the key. So let's get straight to it. Keeping your heart open is probably this cliche that you've heard again and again and again. But it's been through my personal experience that I really want to share with you why that works and why it's the one thing that you can always do to actually let the changes, let the difficulty, let the tough times pass through and not be hurt at the end of the day. So the reason why we feel like change is so difficult, or when things in our life begin to shift, or when we begin to uncover different parts of ourselves that just we haven't really looked into before, why that is also uncomfortable is first because it's something we've never really dealt with before, right? So it's somewhere we've never been, it's new, it's uncomfortable. But the thing is, it doesn't have to be painful in a way where we're suffering and we're struggling throughout this process of finding who we are, and in this process of going through this transformation and going through this change. And what our natural tendency is when we're confronted with something that we don't know, something that we could be afraid of, or even just the unknown, right? Something that we have no kind of clue about, our natural reaction, yes, we're curious, but at the same time, we want to protect ourselves. We want to safeguard ourselves from whatever may be coming. And that's when we kind of shut down, we close our hearts, and we try to distance ourselves from what's happening. And we keep this distance, we close up emotionally, and we try not to feel it, this uncomfortable feeling or the change or the hurt, or if it's something that you're trying to kind of overcome, something from your past that you're making peace with, it might feel not so nice inside your chest, within your body, right? As you kind of process that stuck emotion. And if we find ourselves in such a place, our natural tendency is to shut down and just try to stop all sensory experience. We try to not feel what's happening. So that's another way of describing closing up our hearts. But I want to share with you one thing which is so important. If you want to feel like you don't want to hide, you don't want to be afraid and anxious, or filled with insecurities or self-doubt anymore. And that very thing is the fact that when we close up our hearts, we're keeping that experience in, okay? So in another sense, think of something that happened, when you were younger, or whatever it may be that really disturbed you. Something that hurt you, something that didn't feel quite nice. And you felt it, because, there was some sort of experience of it. But at the same time, you're like, oh my goodness, this is terrible. Okay, off I go. I'm gone, I'm disconnecting from what's happening. And from that disconnect, your heart closes down and you're like, okay, that's it. I don't want to feel that. Now it's gone. So we think, right? Until we come across situations that remind us of that event again. We, meet a certain someone, or some situation happens at work or at home, and we are reminded again of that event. Now this time, not only are we closing off to that past, we're not closing off to what's happening to us in this moment, just because it triggered something from the past that we didn't actually allow ourselves to fully experience and let it pass through us. Because no matter what it is that you're feeling and you're going through, especially emotionally, that emotion is just passing by, letting you know this is a human experience, this is what you're feeling. But after you actually allow that, you surrender to that by opening up your heart, it will pass through. And by passing through, I mean this emotion, it'll come like a wave through you, you'll feel it, the body will feel it, the pain, the hurt, whatever it may be. But once you completely surrender to what's coming, what you're feeling, it's actually going to go away. Just like that. Magically, just like that. Every single time. And if you open up your heart to every single experience in life, then you don't hold it within you, and then you don't kind of accumulate those trigger points, right? Those topics that you have to walk on eggshells because it's too uncomfortable, something that's repeated. Then maybe, if it's a certain pattern in your relationship, then it's not something that you kind of stray away from, you try to avoid because it's uncomfortable. So the patterns that we face every day where you feel like you're kind of stuck in the corner, like forcing to face the same uncomfortable situation again and again, those will start to disappear because there's actually nothing you're holding on within you that can possibly be used to hurt you again or to feel like you're being hurt by new situations in new moments. And all that really happens is all it takes is one event, one moment where you do close your heart, and then you do carry that emotion, that energy within you, because the body has not had that experience of letting it go. So it stays within you. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, right? We don't need to get to the specifics here, but there are certain things that you try to avoid, you don't talk about, you don't wish to feel, you don't want to bring up. Those are the exact things I'm talking about. We had that one not so nice experience, but we, by shutting down the heart, carry it throughout our lives, and in some way it's ridiculous. We think we're saving ourselves, protecting ourselves, closing up our hearts, when in fact that is making us carry this emotional, this psychological, and energetic baggage with us every single moment onward, unless we allow ourselves to feel. And the beauty is that if you allow yourself to feel, if you choose to open up your heart, relax into whatever you're actually going through, it will pass. You, who you really are, will never be hurt. And now you don't have a thorn. You don't have a thorn that's always there, and you have to find ways to protect yourself, to not go there, to avoid things. It's just gone. And this is such an important thing for us to actually know, experience, and you can see for yourself, right? This is something that I've experienced in myself and something I've seen again and again in my clients. The moment we let that which we're holding on to pass through us and we open our hearts to that experience, it's going to leave us. We're letting go, and it no longer has a control over us. So why is this important to redefining womanhood? And why is this such an important topic if we're trying to figure out what our next step is, when we're trying to create a life that actually feels right, that's in tune with who we are, actually meeting our needs and our wishes and desires. And now the thing is, if we do not open up our hearts, we'll be just accumulation of everything that has ever triggered us, everything that we tried over the course of our lifetime to try to protect ourselves from. And that's what we're doing on an ongoing basis all the time, right? We're overcome by these emotions. If something happens again that reminds us of that, we're trying to create protection mechanisms so we don't have to feel that way again. We're doing so much, probably unconsciously, but we're putting in so much effort, we're going through so much emotions just because we close up our heart at some point, right? But if we actually open up our hearts to the past or in the future from now on, you have so much more space. It's like you free up this room within yourself, you free up your cellar, so you have this space to actually fill it with what you want. And you'll have so much more energy, and with this open heart, you're much more able to feel the wonderful things. And that beautiful feeling will actually show you the next step. That beautiful feeling is going to be your intuitive insight, that will be your wisdom, that will be your feminine guidance. But if we are closing up our hearts and we're not, letting all these experiences to pass through us, then that's mostly what we will feel every single day. And that's going to be filling not only our mind, the mental chatter, all that stuff. Well, the only way to actually deal with that and to let that go, for that not to exist, is to let it all come through, pass through, by feeling it all and by surrendering into it. So I hope that this video has really helped you. It's the biggest thing that, has really changed my life. And when my clients begin to live in this way, when they courageously say yes to life and stop hiding from even the smallest experiences, it makes the biggest difference. And it's incredible what life actually gives to you when you're open in this way and you're willing to feel and you're willing to receive and you're ready to embrace life. Then it makes redefining womanhood, creating a life for yourself that just feels so good to be just second nature, that becomes your natural way of living, and you can't help it but more be in flow with life. So from struggling, trying to hide, walking on eggshells, to now being in flow, being in tune with yourself, living in a fearless way, well, this is that one stepping stone, this is that very thing. But it does take courage, and it is something to be felt. So if this is something you've never done before, or you feel like, okay, something in this video really resonates with me, and you don't know where to go with it, you don't know how to kind of on your own let the emotions pass through, or to kind of begin to live with an open heart, then feel free to comment below or email me at natasha@femininespace.com, because it's so simple but really helpful when someone is there as we go through those emotions and let those waves of the past, what we've been holding on to, actually be passing through and be felt and be experienced. So thanks for watching. Make sure to give me a thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe, and comment below and let us know, have you ever felt like you were closing up your heart? In what situations do you feel like you're closing up your heart the most? And do you actually, honestly, think that it saves you, protects you from what is happening? Or do you actually have a sense that after that event has happened, that pain, that whatever happened really stays within you, and it's almost like something we have to live again and again? So let us know in the comments below, and I hope to see you in the next video, and as we kind of come to almost an end of this Redefining Womanhood video series. So thanks for being here for yourself. Please don't ever hesitate to reach out. It's totally okay not to know how to start, not to know where to begin, or not to even get the majority of what I'm saying. We're all at kind of our own pace. We're at where we're at, and that's okay. So don't ever hesitate to reach out if you do wish to have a bit more guidance or someone to hold a space for you with love as you go through all of that. So see you tomorrow, and bye!